Good.
Good.
Yeah, good. That's it. Just good.
It's good. It's going. I'm getting ready to travel for a work trip and just
I can't hear you. What you? I mean, we on
Oh.
the phone.
I'm getting ready to travel for work, so I picked up the rental car this morning, and I got to pack and stuff like that. So that's what I'm getting ready for.
You got to pack.
Yeah. What?
Did you know that the trip was today?
Oh no, it's not today. It's
I mean, but okay,
It's
okay,
Monday. So
okay. I'm like,
yeah.
you seen it?
Right. No,
Wow.
and it's not even clothes. It's just my work. Or make sure I bring everything that I need for work because it's just a
Did I
day
know
trip.
you usually have everything all together, honey?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Have
And
it together.
me, on the other hand, I always wait until the last minute, up until the time I'm getting ready to get in the car. I'm still okay. Did I get this? Nope. Let me grab this. Yeah, I try to start early, but it never works.
I
Never
tell you
works.
something that's interesting. I can pack ahead, so I'm in between the both of you. Pack ahead and still looking like, oh wait a minute, I forgot that, and I forgot that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my issue. Hey, let me tell y'all what happened. Let me ask you a question first. Have, have you ever gotten a massage and leave stressed?
No.
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 So someone would ask, Bill, how will one leave a massage parlor? I'm dating myself and leave stressed. What had happened was, look,
That good old what had happened was.
y'all already know where I went. Why I keep doing it over and over again?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I went back. I went to a different one. So
Oh,
I'm giving opportunity here. This is called I'm giving opportunity. I'm giving chances. So I go in. They say, "You want massage?" And we just gonna leave it like that. Y'all know where I'm at. I said, "Yes." So I'm telling them what's bothering me. They say, "Okay." I'm getting a massage. They want to give me a full body massage. I told you where I need the massage at.
Mm-hmm.
So if one doesn't do as you request that you are paying your money for, and they do everywhere else, they're controlling my dime because I'm going to pay them for the service. I'm just not going back. But I'm frustrated because the whole time I was not relaxed and they kept telling me to relax. No, I can't relax because you are not focusing on what I told you my issue was. I got an eyelash in my eye for people that are watching, and I'm like, oh. So that's how one would leave stressed. How does that occur? Isn't that weird? It's like, what is happening? Is it just me? Have you ever gone to a place and you request one thing and they sell you what they want?
No.
No.
I get my nails and pedicure done. A lot of places that you try to tell them what you want, and they gonna do what they want anyway. Baby, I'm paying you. You're providing the service. You gonna do what I tell you to do.
Yeah.
Help us out, people. Let me get a number real quick. So if you would like to join in to our lovely broadcast, you can do so by calling in live at 619-902-2287 and also texting. You can text so we can get this thing started. 619-902-2287. It's scrolling across the bottom there. All our information is in the detail area. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment on the YouTube channel. We appreciate that. And you do have the opportunity, let me let everybody know, to tune in on your favorite podcast to Shop Talk with Mel, because we are everywhere, as I say all the time. Or sometimes I do forget. So, Nyk, what would your response be if you go and you request something and it's not what you requested. Do you pay? To pay or not to pay? That is the question.
No, I'm gonna make them do a do over. I need a do over, and you gonna do what I told you to do. I always do that. I always no, that's not what I asked for. I asked for this. I always make them because I'm not. Listen, you want my money because you know they have to call the police on folks real quick, especially as melanated people. So therefore, you're gonna do the service that I know. That's not what I asked for, and
Right.
I sit there until I get what I asked for all the time. The one shop back at home, they know me synonymously. They try now to make sure they do exactly how I asked. In fact, there's this one lady at the one shop that I used to go to at home, an older lady. I call her Mama. Mama be on point because Mama know me. Mama, I got her. I do her. You come sit here. Thank you.
Look, see, we ain't gotta say where. AmberDee, have you ever had that experience?
No, I actually don't get my nails done professionally and or my hair.
I ain't talking about nails. You don't get massages?
Massage. I've had massages. I've had professional massages done twice, and I was a good experience both times. I would, yeah, like Nick said, ask for a do over, or just let the management know your experience, give them the opportunity to correct it, and if they choose not to correct it, I wouldn't go there anymore, and I would leave a negative review.
Now that is true. I left a negative review on a negative experience that I had. No lie. Listen, the guy knew me. Did I tell y'all that? you, listen, I was laughing. I laughed. I said, boy, this is extreme, but it is the truth.
They remember.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, I remember as well. And this is what my thoughts are on my review. Like, how it's connected, especially with Google, whatever your photo is. My photo was not even there. So you knew you did me wrong.
Yeah.
That's the way that I looked at it. But I like, get out of here. Bye. Now, I have to say this, and it's out of convenience. So to the entrepreneurs out there who are into whatever they're into, understand being available is the key. And that's what happens with me, being available. I need a massage at this time, like right now. And I know you have to make an appointment, some places, but some people are just available. And it's like, okay, they're available. Let me go in here. And it's like, please, can you do what I asked you to do? It's almost like if I asked you to bake me a cake and I tell you I don't want any icing on it, like the bakery. You remember that, Nick? I went to the bakery for a sheet cake. She tell me I don't need all of that. Listen, baby, I thought I had a camera in the house. She was like, it was an older lady. She said, you don't need all that. I said, huh? And then she never asked me for how many people either. So I said, okay. So she talked me down. A half sheet. You don't need all of that. I said, well, what's happening here? I'm like, are you baking the cake? Like, do you not want to bake? What's happening?
You don't need all of that.
That's
but you're paying for it. You paying her for it.
But the lady told me, I'm telling you, like, she was like, you don't need no cake. You don't need. Late, are you in my house? It's so strange.
Like, you don't want no money?
Yeah, yesterday, people don't care, but watch this. And these are employees, not owners. These are employees. So I did tell the owner who I actually worked with about my cake experience. I go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, no.
Well, it was like late afternoon yesterday. And I pull up. Well, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm like, all right, this is it. I said, no, I pull up and she says, can I take your order? Now I'm putting my own facial expression to it, but this is for the listening audience. This is how it sounds. Can I take your order? Well, I hear it as my window was coming down because, she was right on it. Next, she said, can I take your order? I said, never mind. So then, and I said it just like that. I was like, never mind. After, and I'm going to leave, she says, you don't want to order anything? Mood changed. What's my response? Heck,
No,
no, I need to listen. No, I do not. I didn't say that to her. I had already pulled off. You figure it out because clearly you knew what it was that made me change my mind because your attitude perked up. I am no longer supporting depressing, let me say that, depressing attitudes, supporting as if I owe them something. I am the consumer. And here's the thing. I don't, lady at Dunkin', or, ladies, you probably over 20. I am not, I don't want anything to drink. Listen, I'm going to need you to be a cheerful giver. If you ain't going to be a cheerful giver, I don't want what you serving me, okay? I'm for real. I'm like, oh, it's something to this. You remember you here in church, be a cheerful giver?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I ain't drinking nothing if you got an attitude before I even came up and you don't even know me. Bye. If I want something, I'm going to get exactly what I want, or I am not accepting it. I got to that point. And I am the person that will be like, well, all right, service is rendered. Here you go. I won't be back. Now I'm just like, I'm so over it. I'm like, I'm stressed after a stress relief service. How does that happen? What you got, Nyk?
I was gonna say that Dunkin' Donuts, is that the favorite one that we always go to?
Yes.
Okay. We ain't
gonna focus on that. We ain't focused on that. We're gonna focus on the fact that you said the favorite one, the one that we've been going to for years, will no longer get my service because of that representative.
The same one.
We on time schedule. AmberDee, what you got?
No, I actually had an experience at Dunkin' Donuts, and it was poor service. And
was it on Belmont?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it is not just me. Let's get this show on the road.
Everything that happens is motivation. Everything that happens is motivation.
Good morning, my beautiful people. How is it going this Saturday morning?
It's going good.
Yes, lovely. Beautiful Saturday.
Hey, happy Saturday. Regardless. Look, I'm like,
exactly.
Regardless. We go start. It's all over. We have a new week. Coming up tomorrow is a new week. Now tell me, is Saturday the beginning of the new week? Or not Saturday? Is Sunday the beginning of the new week, or is Monday the beginning of the new week?
Sunday is actually supposed to be the beginning of the new week, but we always say because of work purposes, Monday is.
Right.
So what is it? Monday? Well, talk to me. Give me.
I feel like it's Monday also because the 7th day is supposed to be the day of rest. So it's supposed to be the last day of the week is your rest day. So the first day of the week is your first day of work. So I feel like the first day of the week is Monday.
You said a
Monday. Monday.
So is Sunday the last day of the week, or is Saturday the last day of the week?
I think it's Sunday. I think most people
Sunday, yeah.
It's Sunday. Yep.
Because it's your weekend. Your weekend don't start till Friday after 5. And then you got Saturday and Sunday. So Monday starts the new week.
Oh, Nyk got her own segment. So your Friday and Saturday, your weekend begins.
Yes.
And then on the Sunday, you're going to relax to start Monday.
Exactly.
Because why? You need rest after your weekend?
Yeah, basically. Most of the time, yeah.
Well, it is said that Saturday is the last day and Sunday is the first day.
On the calendar, yes. But I feel like in practical application in most people's lives, they view Sunday as the last day of the week.
Because they got to rest after work.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Today is supposed to be the Sabbath day. You do know that, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Just checking. Do what you will, lovely people. Do what you will.
Yes, we know the Saturday is the Sabbath, yes, but for most people, we say Sunday is, or we rest on Sunday. Sunday's supposed to be the rest day because technically Saturday is when everybody do their weekend chores. You ain't supposed to be doing nothing on Saturday.
AmberDee, you want to read the comment?
MK Matthias Hoppel said Monday unless you're in healthcare. LOL. So true.
But yeah.
All right, we got another comment off YouTube. Go ahead.
So a 100 Shuri Childcare said love it.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we got to tackle this before we get into our topic, which is full disclosure in dating. Full disclosure. Okay. But let's cover this. I've seen where they're talking about Tyree. Okay. Tyree Nichols. And there you have people that are, you got some black people. Let me just keep it 100 like I normally do. You got some black people out there that feel like, how we say, I call them vanilla wafers. That's just me. Okay. So you had Candace Owens. That helps. Does that help a little bit?
Okay. Okay, because I hadn't heard of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I give you a little perspective. Yeah, I give you like vanilla wafers. Let's see where are we going with that?
Right.
Okay. Well, you have different people that are similar to her, have same thoughts. And they were talking about the mommy thing when Tyree was calling for his mom. And they felt like they went back to George Floyd and he called for his mom. I don't know. I'm not Tyree. Wasn't in his head at the time or anything like that. But understand this. The young man, it was said that it was said that, so let me say alleged, that he was 80 feet from his house. So 80 feet from your house, I'm no mathematician, is about what, 3 doors down?
Not even.
Okay. All right, good. So I gave you a little space. And he was calling his mommy. So they were like, why is he calling for his mom? 3 doors down. As a mother and being a child, we can look at it from both sides. As a mother, you can have a playground full of children. If your child is crying, you hear your child. Real talk. If you are a child and when you were outside playing, if you heard your mother, you knew, let me hurry up and get in. Right? So my thoughts are, he was calling and he kept calling for her. He's that close to home. Like, come help me. I can't believe, but you know what? I can't believe it because the people that said this, they're not parents. Not that all people who aren't parents don't understand it, but the things that they were saying, it was like, well, I don't understand. Well, you probably won't. But when you have a child and you hear your child cry, whatever, you have people that are so close to their children that they know their children's pain. They'd be like, oh, wait, something's wrong. Something's off. But when you hear your child cry, you can be in Sunday school. Listen, I could be up in, boom, main sanctuary. I would hear mine up. Excuse me, I got to go. Even if you heard them acting up. Like I said, it could be tons of children, but you know your child's voice and your child's cry. But she didn't. But that was where I was at when he was calling for her. I'm like, you're right. You're on the same street. Or with hopes that somebody will come out and look and be like, wait, what's going on? Because, if you grew up where I grew up at, everybody knew everybody and who lived where. And just like they knew what you did in school, it was like the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking so my house is old and I don't know. Sometimes I hear stuff and then sometimes I don't. But the last time there was any kind of an incident on my street, I had a neighbor reach out to me like, hey, are you okay? I see a bunch of cop cars in front of your house. And I said, oh no, the cops are at the house next to me. So I do feel like it's and especially when you live in certain areas, when there's an incident transpiring, usually that's going to bring an audience. bystanders, because when stuff pops off on my street, I most definitely be looking out my window. Sometimes I'll even go sit on my porch. Just
Oh, Nick, you hear AmberDee? She wanted him. She gonna sit on her porch. Are you
watch it. Watch it.
What's going on here?
Okay. So that's another thing. I'm like, it's a little weird, but tragic. It's tragic, her experience as a mother. The whole situation is crazy. But yeah, when on my street, people are looking out their windows. People are out, especially in warm weather. People are outside, and people are being nosy. So, yeah.
Okay, Nick, give me what you think. Give me your thoughts.
I'm another one of those that'll be nosy. I could be driving down the street, see some cop cars, and I'll be like this. Like, what's going on here? Slow down. I do it here too. On the freeway, like, what's going on here? But yeah.
Are you a rubberneck, Nick?
Yeah, I'm a rubberneck. I ain't gonna lie, y'all.
I'm sitting there like, why? I'm like, why is the traffic? I don't understand. Why are we backed up for 30 minutes? People like Nick. Blame Nyk the Voice, y'all. Remember, the next time you're in traffic, just think of Nyk the Voice. Be like,
but that's usually what it is. If there's an accident on one side of the highway, and your side of the highway is backed up, and you like, why is it backed up? Ain't no accident. And then you see, it's accident. Okay. And then when you get close, you see that it's on the other side. Well, why is y'all stopping and being nosy? And then I'm like this. Oh, dang. Yeah.
Nyk the Voice. Think of Nyk the Voice.
Yeah, like, I'm one of them nosy ones. I ain't gonna lie.
But on your street, so if something were to happen on your street, you see police cars or anything like that,
I'm going to look. But then after a while, when you hear stuff, especially if it's so common, you're like immune to it, and somebody else got in trouble. With that instance though, like I don't know what I would do. And just to hear her talking about when she did go to see her baby in that hospital.
Okay, wait, moving forward too fast. We got to stay right there.
But I'm one of those that I will see what's going on, even if I don't sit there and gaze. I'll see, okay, I wonder what's going on. Okay, and then go on about my business. And that's probably what she did. Just look out the door for a minute, and then
didn't. I'm talking about the neighbors, like whose house she probably didn't hear because she trust and believe she ain't look out the window. You see your child's car.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean. But I can see from my perspective, if I hear something, I'll look out and be like, oh, but I am one. I'm a cop caller. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm calling the police. Listen here. That is out of my scope of practice. I guess it started in high school. They always be like, well, what happened? And they used to call them principals trouble. Why are you calling me trouble? I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I don't even know. I'll have to talk about like, why? But with that, I will call the police. And if I would have heard the mommy, and I'm not saying that the neighbors did hear it, but if I would have heard it, that would have been it for me. I got to do something. And you do have people who will come out, stop it, and wonder if that could have saved him. However, he wasn't dead at that point. And it's nobody knows what happened prior to, like, okay, let's stay out of police business. How many times have we heard that?
A lot, but like at some point now, with all of this going on, we need to take it. We need to take it a responsibility of saying something. I was ready to cuss. I don't give a darn if it is the police. We need to start saying something because it's happening entirely too much.
It is George Floyd. George Floyd was and I'm using air quotes for the listening audience, stay out of police business situation.
It's been happening for a long time. It's just now being put to the forefront. And it's time for people to start saying something, period, point blank. Say something to them. And they'll want to get buck with you. Listen, I got a good lawyer, and you'll be on school detail.
And here's the thing, though. And they too have a great legal team. You know what I'm saying? So that's really not a You know, some people use that, and I just had to address it as a threat, and that's not a threat. It's like this is supposed to be to assist you, but you're talking about the police. Amber, do you want to chime in?
I feel like I'm kind of on the fence about it because I feel like George Floyd was being recorded. His incident was recorded by a citizen. So I feel like even if they just recorded it, that would have been helpful. Luckily, it was recorded by the street lamp camera, and their own body cameras. So I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's like 50-50. I feel like it's a 50-50 thing because a lot of times, I'm thinking about it as a parent. Like if something happens and my child, I'm like, okay, you about to get a whooping, and they run from me. You just brought my irritation level from like a 4 to like an 8. You know what I'm saying? So, and if they're out, like there's an issue, obviously they're entangled with the police and they're resisting arrest, whatever. Like, I don't know the circumstances of it. And I just feel like the type of person, like I'm gonna need at this point, after everything I've seen, everything I've heard, it's like, I want more information. I want a better picture before I jump to anybody's defense. As far as who was right and who was wrong. Now, in this particular situation, they were wrong, and that's why they were terminated so quickly. I mean, even thankfully, the police chief was very transparent of that. Like there was literally no cause for anything. They're not even supposed to be doing traffic stops. They're a Scorpion unit, and he wasn't even driving erratically. He wasn't a resisting arrest. He did not flee from the scene. Like he literally did nothing. Like that was definitely. It
He
appeared
did exactly what they said. They were saying, get on the ground. I don't know how much lower you can go.
Exactly. And so I can understand because I've seen videos where they're fleeing. They're fleeing from the police, where they're resisting arrest, where, you know what I'm saying, where they're not cooperating. I'm like, well, if you get a couple licks, and that's what's going to happen, I guess. But with Tyree, that's not what happened. And now people, and this is something that I've observed is I think is detrimental to the issue, is that people are so emotional. They're like, well, why does it matter what the cause was? Well, that's going to determine whether it was premeditated or not. So we do.
Well, now let me introduce Nyk the Voice to you, lovely people who don't know Nyk the Voice. Last week on the show, Nyk the Voice disclosed some information that she heard, word from the curb, that she heard prior to that ended up coming out. Now, Nyk the Voice, Nyk always gets the news. She get what's happening in the street before anybody. That's why Nyk is Nyk the Voice. So let me introduce y'all to Nyk, Nyk the Voice. She actually said, let me do it the right way. Go ahead, Nyk the Voice. Nyk the Voice be solving crimes before they come out. And we be sitting there talking about, she's like, well, that. Well, this wasn't right. Boom, come out. This is what they find out, solving crimes. Go ahead, Nyk the Voice. Nyk the Voice actually said last week that she heard that there was an officer that
had a vendetta. Basically, Tyree was working with one of the officers' child's mother. I don't know how many, if it's child or children. And Tyree and
allegedly. Go ahead.
Allegedly, let me cover that. Let me say that, but and that Tyree and this young lady were starting to talk, or I don't know if they were actually talking as friends or if they were actually starting to be in a relationship. Homie found out about it and had a vendetta. And the thing is, homegirls told, baby daddy that it was over with. She didn't want to be with him anymore. He was one of the ones that couldn't take it. And
allegedly,
word on the curb is he took a picture while homeboy was down and sent it to old girl because the text message came out. Oh, that he sent to her.
Sent to the girl. Now, this is all alleged information.
Yeah, allegedly with Tyree on the ground, and he said something condescending. Yeah.
And like back to what AmberDee, I had to bring that in because back to what AmberDee was talking about. Yeah, the cause matters. The cause tells the motive.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I actually got into a debate with some other people online about it because I was asking, this was involving a different case. And what I read, it sounded kind of petty and they, were dissatisfied with the outcome and what, consequences were doled out to the offending parties. And I said, you didn't even answer the five whys, the five W's, who, what, where, when, why, how. Like, so I was like, this is like, you're really not covering the story well. And I can't be like, oh my God, this was so terrible and this was so wrong when there's lots of holes of missing information, and yeah, so that's, and I feel like with Tyree Nichols' case, yeah, it's going to determine, are they going to pursue, I think, to me, based on all the alleged information I've come across, this was most definitely premeditated. And that matters. That makes a big difference if it was premeditated. And, hopefully he's going to be held accountable and receive justice. But like,
all of them are. Watch this. Watch this. Just as last week's show, we was talking about Chef, what's his name?
Chef Way.
Chef Way. And you and I were going back and forth talking about how your personal life, I was like, that's his personal life, can affect the professional life. Remember, you were like, no, if he's this, he might be. And I saw your point, but I had to give mine. I got so much clarity on the point you were trying to make, AmberDee, last week with this incident. Because there are people out there saying, well, that's a person, they're trying to take it off of the police and say that's a personal incident.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, absolutely not, because here's the thing. That was a personal issue with him that he brought his co-workers, because he's a police officer, on duty. They was on the clock.
Yep.
To murder a man.
Yes.
So now all of their lives, y'all blue, all the blue lives there were terminated.
And some EMTs.
Now, I'm so sick when I saw that, because I think Nick talked about that. Go ahead and
yes, she did.
She did. And I have my thoughts, and I share, but see, I can only share my experiences. You guys can share your experiences of what you saw, you know what I mean, or seen in life. Those EMTs, by all means, after more information was given, because I am the innocent until proven guilty person. I'll be honest. I could not believe that they sat there and saw, like, to look at somebody that's in distress. Not even, and that's your profession. So forget the lay person, just, a person in the community. This is your profession. What's happening? Why are we no longer enthused about our professions? Go ahead.
And I feel like that was one thing I noticed, because definitely the five officers and then the white officer who, was being protected. And I heard a lot of white people going off about that. Like, how is he not have his face splattered in the news and all this other? And like I said, and as people are discussing, it's not just the police officer, it was the EMTs too. There's this every person in uniform there had this blatant disregard for this another human being's life and obvious breach of protocol. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a systemic issue, maybe in that entire department, but I really feel like it's across the United States, and the policing system, industry in general. And, it's definitely a problem that needs to be addressed. And it's not just these five police officers. It's a culture.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, why did they go so hard on the five, and people are just now really finding out they just now fired that white officer?
Okay.
Instead of all.
Whoa, I got to stop you right there. If you listened to last week's show, your girl mentioned it. Did I or did I not?
I believe so.
I did. Yes, I did. But I guess what I'm hearing and what I've read, he was there before. He wasn't there during the assault
part. Okay.
That matters to me. If I just want to be somewhere and then I leave and it goes wrong, I'm like, well, wait, hold on, what? Like, even if I text something, then I leave and then y'all still got him. I'm gone, and then wait, what happened? What happened after I left the room? You know what I mean? Go ahead.
did he tase? He was the one that tased him. Why?
Well, here's the thing. I believe, I don't know. They were focused on them. They had their body cams. This is an issue as well. And it came out that he tased. I mentioned that part, so it was out there. It just wasn't out there, like worldwide. It was out there because I obtained the information. I don't know nobody down in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? So I got that information. But and even if you tase somebody, I don't even know why he tased him. That's probably why he's gone.
Exactly.
And now watch this. So we chilling. I'm telling y'all people, let me just say this. Who you are associated with matters.
Woo!
That old, and Amber talked about this over and over. It's sad that you have to judge people that way, but
you gotta judge. You gotta judge them.
It matters though. It matters. And some people, like when I be like over the top, they be like, "Hey, you going?" I'm like, "Who all going?" That's why I asked that question. Who gonna be there? Who's all going? Why? Because I have something to lose. What do I have to lose? Myself. I don't want to be in your stuff. Why do I drive? I'll drive because I can control my situation. If you are in the car, you at the club with your homies, and y'all all roll together, and somebody get into an issue. Remember that conversation.
Peace.
I'm leaving you. We cool. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Tell me what happened. I'm gonna be at the house. I am not trying to put myself in situations, especially if there could potentially be a situation. Like I said, I got some Peters in my camp. Trust and believe. You know what I mean? And I know when to call them. And you be like, if y'all grew up in church, you know what I'm talking about. And I know when to call. But I'm not trying. No, I ain't picking you up. I'll meet you there. If be my homie, and like Nick, I'll be like, Nick, I'll meet you there. I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm one of the Peters.
I'll meet you. That's your girl. That's my girl. Yeah, I ain't gonna let her sit down in the county. But I don't know what happened. Bye. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so this brings, because this is the other point I was getting about the system and the culture there. If we have any listeners that are in the Memphis area, like please join this conversation because I really want to know, first of all, why did they create the Scorpion unit? Like, is that needed? What is the culture like? What is the climate in Memphis right now? Is there this huge issue with police brutality, drugs, organized crime, gangs, things like that? Is that what, like, it's because
it's giving what
war zone
in Youngstown, Ohio, but it's giving the same thing.
You know what I'm saying?
And when they go and I can only speak for Youngstown since that's my hometown. I'm sure different towns have that. However, let me say this with Youngstown, Ohio, my hometown. Yes, everybody being nervous wreck, but that right there, we ain't never experienced that.
That's what I'm saying.
And some places have the task force and stuff like that. You don't know, but we ain't giving that. I gotta let me clear my people. No, let me clear my hometown. Everybody be tripping. Everybody cool. I'll never forget. I can't remember who it was. There was a big thing downtown Youngstown where they were riding. It was another incident like this. Positive. You know what I mean? Do y'all remember the hearing about that?
Yeah, it wasn't even.
Then they came and wanted to tear up downtown. Listen, the citizens of Youngstown, Ohio, shout out to y'all. It was like, yeah, we protesting. This ain't right. And then they decided they want to pick up a police car. The citizens was like, hold up. Oh, we ain't doing all that now. We cool here.
Right. And I want to say, and like I've said before, I've never had a negative interaction with the police. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that they're without fault or anything, but I'm a police caller too. And just the energy, the vibe I get from my city that I reside in, it's like we ain't that bad. We not like that. Sorry. You know.
Okay, without saying the name, can you read that comment, AmberDee?
Sure. So not true, Mel. There just wasn't any cameras back in the day. And
which brings us to our next part of this. When they wanted to defund the police, I'm like, no. Those guys, I'm like, reform, yes. The cameras, their own cameras, is what got them.
Mm-hmm.
Was interesting. So pay the money, get the cameras on the poles, whatever you got to do what you have to do. Here's the thing, though, which I had to question myself, like, you are in blue, and you put the camera on when you got your uniform. You know it's being recorded, and you don't care. So what's really happening?
Right. Culture. And like a lot of people said, that wasn't their first time. That was a daggone hit. That's what first thing I said that looked like some gang mess.
It did. Let me say this. I want to speak to the person in Youngstown, Ohio. They're talking about back in the day when we didn't have cameras. Anybody from Youngstown, I'm closing my eyes for the listening audience, and we're tuning in to each other. We know two initials. The first name start with an R, and I ain't gonna say the last, okay? That we know. So I'm with you, brother. I got you. But now I'm speaking like as far as like now we're not having those problems. They were saying that back in the day we were having those problems, and we knew that. That's why you had your KRS ones, you had your NWA, you had all that stuff. This is not new. It's just being televised.
Finally.
Yes.
Finally.
So for the people who want to defund the police, I get where you're coming from, but understand that we, the people, are funding them. And I'm going to be flat out honest. So you heard me and AmberDee, we said it right here. Y'all heard it. We are cop callers. So here's the thing. Do we need them? We do need them, because I'm going to try. Listen here. You got that ain't right what you did. You should not have done that. However, if you come and break in my house, I'm calling the cops.
Oh, yeah.
I need them to be available. You know what I'm saying? So, D.L. Hughley said something that I loved. He was like, yeah, we understand you have a few bad apples. He said, but like, too, and I'm adding this part. If you get one bad apple, it could spoil the rest of the tree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he said, you got a few bad apples. You got to cut the tree, though. Start it over. Bam, cut the tree, replant. Talking about replant another apple tree. That was the analogy he was using. And the reason, and I got it because if you have a few bad apples on this one tree, who picking at that tree? Now, what I'll say with the police that I don't like this thing that they have, and I don't know where it's at because I'm not a police officer, where it stems from. I don't like the fact that you could be terminated from one jurisdiction and can go to another.
Yeah, that
part is what I don't like. Anything you want to add to this before we go into our good topic, honey? Full disclosure, honey, I'm dating. We got a good show for y'all. I ain't playing. We do.
Yeah, like I'm just tired of the whole thing. Period. Point blank. And I'm glad that these officers are starting to get what they deserve. Now you on the other side of the spectrum. There you go.
The end. Blue. They stick together. Blue. And you know what? I'm gonna say this. I said I wasn't gonna say nothing else, but I'm gonna say this. Just as with the whole Black Lives Matter thing, and people get upset, and the police officers that chime in that are Black that say, "Oh, all cops aren't bad, all police officers aren't bad." I understand that. It's a fraternal order of policing. Let's keep it real. And y'all got y'all stuff, so we don't know because we ain't part of the frat. But just as you say, all police officers aren't bad, all Black people aren't bad either.
No.
If we match that energy,
yep.
And it's like all lives matter. Do they? No, because again, I'll say, if all lives matter, there will be no need for Black lives.
Black Lives Matter. Exactly. Boom. There you go.
Go ahead, AmberDee.
Before we move on to the next topic, I did want to say that Tyrese Nichols' fathers did come out and say that he was not involved with any baby mamas or anything like that. That was his statement. Now, whether or not that's true, obviously we don't know. But
we don't know, but it's still not okay.
It doesn't really matter. But I respect him for wanting to defend his son.
His son, yeah, you're not gonna put that.
Oh, I mean, and from what is understood, it's like they literally weren't together. The core issue alleged is a man that is controlling and abusive, and
let's call a spade, an insecure man. And here's the problem: insecure man that had to jump somebody that was less than 200 pounds. And he was cuffed. So now it's like, okay, wait, he can't. You're not even giving him the opportunity to defend himself. How big do you feel? Oh, Mr. Powerhouse, get out of here.
Okay, guess what?
You're a
Insecure men
bully.
Guess
are
what?
dangerous.
And you really suck.
Right.
Again, like I said, you really suck that you ain't even want to do it yourself. And what's stupid is that your idiotic friends, and I'm saying this, sat there and was okay with doing this. Y'all that slow? And if whoever is married to them, I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for whoever's married to them. This is the man that's head in your household.
Woo!
Baby, girl.
Regardless of whether Tyree was messing with that his child's mother or not, that is nobody's business, and that is not a reason to be jumped. If you and this woman are not together, and she told you she don't want to be with you, and she messing with Tyree, that does not, that's nobody's business, and it should not have happened.
How about this? It shouldn't even went that far, Nick.
Exactly.
How about if somebody cheat on you, why you beating the man up? And I ain't saying beat the woman up, but come on, man. Listen, we and then that other guy, Whitler, whatever his name, the one that the journal had enough to say that all those men, the reason that they're the way that they are because their leadership is from a single black female. She's married, but that's not the case anyway. Like, get out of here. Quit trying to blame everybody for something. And that's what I see what's happening in this world. Everybody's pointing the finger and blaming other people instead of correcting the issue. It's like, okay, whose fault was it? And I get that part, like the cause, to see what's going on. But let's focus on the bigger picture. How do we correct this? How do we correct this?
It's a crisis of
Let's
men.
get on this topic, okay? Look, I'm like these insecure fellas, and everybody is not the same, and I get it. But guess what? This is real talk for real people. Shall we be transparent? Full disclosure. When dating somebody, do you tell them off top what it is that you want? Go ahead, Nick.
She would go with me. Yeah, like maybe before, no, but yeah.
That's not convincing, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm not judging. And
I
in
mean-
judgment zone, because that's what y'all talk is. I'm joking.
Yeah, like you have to have that conversation. And before I would be like, just looking for friendship, but yeah, I was straight up told off the top.
So tell me this. I want to know the truth. And for the listening audience, please chime in. You guys can text. I won't say your name. 619-902-2287. 619-902-2287. So, do you say you're looking for friendship when you are actually looking, and not just you personally? You can share your own personal experience, but just like even with your comrades and your friends that you're around or associates, just females, period. Do you hear that as a commonality where it's I'm looking for friendship, but they really want a relationship? Or we know our homegirls. We were like, yeah, she said that. That's a lie. But go ahead, talk to me.
With anybody else, if you're looking for a relationship, even if it's down the line, go ahead and say that. Me, I said what it was. All I want is sex, and all I want is sex. That ain't what that. I mean, yeah. But
no,
anyway,
but I can respect that though, because you do have people that's out there that's just like, okay, well, I'm just here to get to knock off this brother.
But this is a good. I was at. Well, what do you want? For real. All I need is sex. I'm deprived. I'm separated in the middle of getting ready to get a divorce. This is what it is. I got more than what I bargained for, but yeah, like
I'm good out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen. Woo.
Okay, go ahead, AmberDee. What you got?
Yeah, I personally believe, like in the grand scheme of things, that you get back what you put out into the universe. And so if you want to attract someone who is honest and has integrity and is an authentic person, then you need to be honest. You need to have integrity. You know, you need to be an authentic person. So even though I feel like it's easier to like get burned or used or betrayed or whatever, eventually, just like karma, it's going to swing back to you. It may take some time, but eventually you're going to get back all the good energy you put into the universe. And that includes the good energy you put into the dating pool and the dating market.
All right.
You count yourself as, well, I'm someone who's in the dating market, and I'm a woman or I'm a man that has integrity, and I move with integrity.
Now, I do know some fellas who feel like they've met women. It was like, I just want sex. And the fellas all balled up with a blanket, like, you know what happened? And I was really feeling her. What's going on? She just used me. One dude, no lie. Listen here. That brother bothered me so much. Talk about my cousin. And she was like, it wasn't that. Full disclosure. It was, she said, just like what Nick was saying, sharing with her girls, the same thing. Like, I'm just here. This is a sexual thing. I'm not trying to have a relationship. And that's what she did. This brother bothered me every time I went to the club. He's like, well, your cousin, listen. You know, at the time where I'm sitting there, I don't drink, so I'm getting the whole conversation. I don't want to be a therapist. You know, I'm already the purse watcher because they on the dance floor, okay?
Yeah.
And didn't even realize I was the purse watcher or the coat watcher until, you know, I decided to get up and dance. I'm like, oh, I'm stuck with these purses. Now I got to be the therapist.
Oh no.
So, full disclosure, might not look at Nick laughing because she knows she'd have been there. Like,
many a time.
Out of here, you know.
Yes.
The world has changed and things are very different. And I don't know if men, we're going to have to get our guys back on here, if they can actually handle full disclosure as they were like, well, just tell me what it is that you want. Now, you know, back in the day, it was the whole coming to America thing, whatever you like, where women now are like, no, this is what I want. You have to give it. And if you don't give it, I'm not going to be here. Choices. But the guy is actually like, if I can, and this is just my thoughts, and y'all come at me, you know, I don't care. I don't really admit when I'm wrong. The guys is like, well, you're a gold digger, or she's a gold digger. Why? Because she has higher standards. And see, to me, what it says is you're not willing to go higher. If you feel as though that you can't give me what I want, you're letting me know that you are not doing it. And I'm letting you know that I'm not wasting my time because you're telling me pre-relationship that you're not doing it. So why would this even be an argument? Go ahead, AmberDee.
And I feel like, you know, one of the complaints with modern women and modern versus modern men is that men, maybe in the past, because women were disenfranchised, women were by design, by, you know, restricting education and restricting income and restricting careers, women had to depend on men, and that's changed. And so instead of men used to have to compete with other men to get the affection and attention of a woman or access to a woman, now modern men are competing against women's solitude and peace in singlehood. There's more and more women who are like, I would rather be alone than deal with you and what you're bringing me, because you could be bringing me a bunch of toxicity and dysfunction, and I'm going to opt not to do that. Not saying I got 10 other men that want to deal with me and I don't got it, so I'll just go get a different man. Women aren't really saying that. They're just like, I'd rather have my peace and be by myself. So bye. So it's like men have to bring more to the table now because now they're competing against a woman's peace. Not another person.
Amber Rose, she said it.
Yeah.
Amber Rose, after she was like, I'm done.
Well, I hope she went to therapy because she was a big contributor to her own situation, but whatever.
Yeah. Judge.
You're not going to grow if you don't acknowledge how you contributed to your own situation, boo-boo.
Look, Nick, go ahead. You got it. Nick did the sniff on him. Go ahead, Nick. What you got?
Listen, I'm gonna just lay it online and tell you what it is. Period, point blank. And yeah, like you have to be transparent. You have to let this person know, because again, I am a full on believer of you have to let somebody make the choices whether they still want to deal with you or not. Period, point blank. Like, you let them know what it is. It is what it is. We know somebody that hates that saying, but it is what it is. Let them know. If they decide to continue to deal with you, then cool. If not, you know, there's no love lost. It was 1 or 2 dates or whatever. Cool. I just happened to get lucky. I said what I said. This is what I'm looking for. He said what he said. He was looking for more. And the thing that it has got me was the fact that he does things that my own husband didn't even do. Like, yeah. So it's like, and I'm not talking about sexual. I'm talking get y'all minds out the gutter. But I mean, like things that my husband was supposed to do because I was his wife and he was the head of the household did not get done. This man is doing it, knowing that I said I just want friendship and sex. And it's like, okay, so he's showing me, okay, I told you what I want. Now I'm going to show you because he is still at the point where he's pursuing. Like, I know what you said you wanted, but this is what I want. I like you, your aura. I love your aura. It's something about you, your smile. You're stubborn, but you are the type that's going to fight for what you want. You're trying to be an entrepreneur. Your situation's a little bit, and that's another thing. He knows my situation and he has not run. He's like, well, what do you need? And I'm not going to, he asks all the time or just send something. I'm like, what is it?
Well, watch this. Send something. That's it. I'm going to tell you what she need for you not to ask what she, what does she need? Just go ahead and do. And I love
it. Yeah.
Send it.
But, and
people that need to be the blueprint. Because if you ask me what I need, ask people to ask me that. I need everything.
Mm-hmm.
How you ask, do you need some money? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'll be like, no, I don't need what do you I don't need nothing.
I believe in being blessed with abundance.
I get it anyway. So that's what I'm talking about. Whereas I had to ask, and then when I would ask, it was like pinching a dollar. Like for real, dude. Like,
you know what? I commend you. Kudos to you, Nyk, and for the full disclosure, because if it's something you ask, I don't feel like it. I ain't lying. That's just me. I will sit quiet. I'm an observer. That's just my personality. And I will just watch. And if you are in my space, because I am one, I need to be happy. And I do want it about me. I do. And if you are into me, you'll know my needs. You'll know when I'm not happy. Because here's the thing, and it's not just one-sided. If I'm into you, I'm watching what you have. And here's what happened with a lot of women. We're looking at the whole thing. We're nurturers. We're looking at the big picture. And we're like, oh, okay, eventually this is what you want to do. Oh, you know what? You may draw well. You should really key into that. Why don't you, this is me. Oh, why don't you enter that into an art exhibit? Like, that's amazing. So, and that's what we do. Just as females, we're nurturers where it's not reciprocated. Now, usually a guy that's coming on the scene, they're telling you about their last relationship. That's a big X for me. And if I knew how to work these sound effects and had somebody with me like before, we'd have been on point. Okay, listen to that. That's a big X for me. And the reason is you talking about your ex, that lets me know that you're bringing baggage. And as females, we always want to heal the person because we're nurturers. We want to put a Band-Aid on it. We want to make you feel better. You're sick. That's why they go. A nurse or a purse. Listen, that woman was right. Okay. That's what men are looking for. A nurse or a purse at a certain age. The problem is it's not being reciprocated. So we'll make sure that you don't have those same experiences, those bad experiences that you had with us, that you totally forget about the whole person that you're sitting across from because you're focused on yourself. Like, oh, I never been treated this way, but you're not meeting her needs. And then when she starts to express that she has needs, then you want to catch an attitude. Or you want to say you're a gold digger. Oh, all you care about is what you want. Well, hold on. Let's play this back, brother. Let's play it back.
No, I get none of that. In fact,
I ain't talking about your personal relationship. Right?
I'm just saying
I'm saying in general, though.
Right.
In general and previously, you have to at some point say, if I'm not getting this, why am I kicking back so hard? Why am I kicking back if I'm not getting what I complained about? I.e., women who were in abusive relationships before. You come to a new relationship and you tell them that you've been abused, and then you try to figure out, why is he abusing me? He knows what you will tolerate, because those questions are important. And you're sitting there like thinking you're just having a regular conversation. Well, how long you been in a relationship? And this is not for all men. And, I'm just speaking generally. Well, how long you been in a relationship? Okay, well, I noticed she was with this dude for 4 years and he didn't black both her eyes. Well, me just saying this, and this was emotional abuse, she'll be all right and she'll still stick with me. You're telling them your boundaries versus some women who come and be like, they see the first sign. Like, I see a flag, one red flag, it's a parade to follow them out. But most times that's not the case. That's why, like, when I have that initial, when they say a date, you're collecting data. If you don't want to talk on a date, guess what? Bye. What are you hiding? What's going on? And that initial date tells me if you'll get a second date. So us, like AmberDee said, sometimes you just want your peace. And it's like, oh, if I can get my peace, I don't even need a dude. And Nyk, I can just get broke off. How you doing? Done.
That's what I thought I was getting.
Let's talk about in general.
In general, right?
Yeah, let's stick to the in general.
Well, I don't know.
Here's what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say, and not to be, because I'm not a negative person at all. I'm a realist. It's all good at the beginning, not saying that it'll go away. I'm not saying that. And I don't want you to be on P's and Q's, because I told Nyk personally, she'll tell you, enjoy the moment. Mm-hmm. Don't look for the extras. Don't enjoy the moment. That's what it is. And once you stop enjoying the moment, that's when you have an issue. And it is so true, because if we look at something and everything is perfect and it's like, okay, and like you said, I'm gonna use this as an example. I just want sex. Thank you. And we know women, mind, M-I-N-D, people. You start off, I want sex. And you tell that guy that, and so that's the agreement. And then all of a sudden we get in our feelings and it's like, oh, wait, well, I thought we were together. Hold on, we got to go back to the table and revisit this. We need some full disclosure. This is what you said. I gave you that. You can't have an attitude with me being with somebody else or me dating somebody else. How about this is my woman over here, but you said you wanted sex. So I got you over here, but this is my girl. And then, you can't be, well, how come I wasn't never considered as your girl? You got to remember, ladies, you said this is what you wanted. This is your request. So you got to watch what you say. You got to watch what you say, people. I know y'all probably mad at me. Look at this phone. Look.
Get it.
The Texas are like one word Texas. Like, no, yeah, no, you right. I don't even know what it's to. But
come on, y'all. Y'all got to say more than no or yes. You yes. Right. Come on.
Well, you know what? They could just say that, because that lets me know if you agree or disagree.
Okay.
Now, I did give that part of it as far as the whole changing the game, changing how the setup was, changing the plan. We need an in-service. Bring it on back. You was out to dinner with somebody. Come on back. We need an in-service. This meeting is at this time. Okay, so we're dating other people so that you guys are clear. Or if you just plan on being a jump off, and I hate to say a jump off, and it could go both ways, real talk. You can tell the dude, like, listen, this is an understanding. I'm with you, you with me. We can't sleep with other people, but you can date who you want. And if we decide to sleep with other people, let each other know. That's a good plan, I think. But you got to make it plain. Full disclosure of what it is you want. Go ahead, AmberDee.
So the issue with that is, even when you set boundaries and you have agreements, like, okay, we're just going to have a sexual relationship, but it's going to be exclusively sexual, right? They're not going to respect that. That boundary is going to get broken. And so that's going to get broken. Yeah. And so it's like, and that's why I feel like, personally, aim for the top. Whatever your top is, whatever your pinnacle is, aim for that and don't get any lower. Because even when you adjust boundaries to like meet in the middle and compromise, those adjusted boundaries are still going to get broken, more than likely. So there's no point in settling or, taking a half step towards what you actually want. But, if you're not going to be honest about it, then you're probably guaranteed not to get what you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question, and this is with your modern modern life dating. Okay, let's be real. I got this question off of this is on YouTube, Daily Wrap Up Crew. They had these they were talking, they had these females on it, these new and improved females. And this was a good question. Why do average, look at Nick looking like what? Why do average women feel like dating average men is dating down?
So if we're discussing the clip that I saw, those women sounded, they're young ladies.
Listen,
Let her get her point.
They sounded incredibly naive and inexperienced. And I just feel like, as a woman of my age and a person who's been through the things I've been through, like, you sound dumb. So just bluntly, like, and so I would just chalk that up to someone who's very inexperienced, who really is kind of wet behind the ears and really lacks life experience.
Okay.
Because I think.
Okay, let me ask you this, AmberDee. Were you their age before?
Yes.
Okay, so speak to that person. I think I like your last, look, your last point was taken. We've been young and inexperienced.
Yeah.
I never thought that. Go ahead, Nick. Let me hear your view.
First of all, those aren't women; those are little girls. Especially the comments that they said, and I want to scam. Girl, bye. Because when I was at
come on, we got a show. You got to tell the people.
They said she wanted a scammer. Both of them. They wanted a scammer. They didn't want nobody working at McDonald's, or working at
9 to 5.
9 to 5. They didn't want nobody working at 9 to 5. This is all girls, because a real woman, you know what I mean. You're gonna work with what you work with is at first, because if you don't have too much to bring to the table, and then she talking about, well, his money is mine, and he go to jail. Then she was talking stupid, and it pissed me off, because at that age, I knew what I wanted then. I knew what I wanted then. My first marriage, I was 24. I knew what I wanted then. So, and those girls are around the same age. Baby, you are still a girl. You're still a girl. I was a full-fledged grown woman, still learning what I needed. It was a learning process, but I knew what I wanted then, and it was nothing like that. Unfortunately, the first one I married, he ended up going into the army, but he didn't want much out of life. He just, he got
talk about him, but we ain't gonna put that because he probably was young too.
But like,
on the topic. Go ahead.
Oh, right. It's second on next. Yeah, when I was 24, I was married and I had a child. So I feel like I was being gracious. So my thing is because they're young, because they just sound stupid. But again, culture. That's a culture, that urban trying to use politically correct words, because
let's just start with the
culture. It's that culture, and they're representative of that, and it kills me that people are ignorant enough to think that all Black women are like them. Like,
no.
Come on now. There are some Black women just like, because they were right there in that video, and there's some Black women, young Black women, that agree with that nonsense. But that's not all Black women. And those are the, sound like real 304-ish. So you get what you get.
And that's why you have those people out there that look at the baby hairs all laid down and be like, no, I'm not talking to her. Look at the long hair.
It looks really cute.
It's a whole cultural thing. I do agree. And they look at, and think that, that's a Black girl. She like long nails and, the baby hair's laid down. The hair done up with the whole wig that's off. Listen, that wig coming off, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared of that. It makes me itch. I'll be like, ooh, when they slide it off, what is it? The
lace fronts.
Honey, you see how I slide off? You don't even know it's like, and I'm like, ooh, I'm scared. And that's the truth. I ain't trying to be funny. I went to a cigar bar. I didn't go inside. Y'all know I can't breathe half the time. But I was outside. I went to cigar. So I spoke to several men. So men from different age groups. I talked about the eyelashes. Are you attracted to the eyelashes? But I didn't even say, I was like, well, what is it with the eyelashes? You like it or not? The younger guys up to 30 said they like it. And this was on this particular day. I only went one day. It was like, oh, I like the eyelashes. I said, you do? It's like, yeah. Most of them didn't like the long nails, but they like the eyelashes. The weave, we want to talk about this quick weave, the hair all down their back. The younger, up to 30, they were okay with it. Most of them said, oh, it's the norm. Thought that was interesting. Now, 30 to, I think it was 50, 30 to 50. Yes, I'll say 30 to 50. Was not feeling the lashes at all.
Bat wings.
Watch this. Was not feeling the lashes or the nails. And could not stand the baby hairs all down. Okay? And was looking for natural hair. So I found that the 30 to 50 was into the natural. They weren't feeling, wait a minute, they weren't feeling the lashes, the nails, or the hair. 50 and up to 60, nobody was over 70 in there. Guess what they liked? They were okay with the wigs. They were okay with the nails. One older guy that was close, he was 59. He didn't have a problem with the lashes. He said, but we need to be reasonable with the lashes.
Thank you.
So I got that out there for the ladies that are dating. You know, you out there in the dating field. That was those were the age groups and what they were attracted to. So back to the young lady with, you know, what they like and feel as though that they're average, they don't work, but they want an above average guy. I wasn't really mad at her because to her point was just like what AmberDee was saying. Shoot for the stars. Why settle? Why are we settling when you don't have to? Nick, you want to read that comment?
Yes, Radina Ross said lashes and long ass nails are just tacky. I don't like them when they too excessively long. Like I said, back in the day, I wore my nails long, but some of them with them real long ones, I was like, nah, I can't do that because, wow.
Okay, you said back in the day, what age?
My early 20s.
See? So, okay. Go ahead, AmberDee, what you got?
So I have dreadlocks. I've had dreadlocks for years now. And then prior to that, I had natural afro. And then I don't do my nails. But I wanted to point out that men who say that, like, act like the core issues in the Black community are like weaves and eyelashes and like long nails, it literally like irks my soul. Because I feel like, yes, it can be an indication of like tackiness. I interpret it as tacky personally, but I also acknowledge the artistry that can be into artificial nails and like changing your hairstyles and stuff. And at the root of the issue, as we already discussed, it's a mindset. It's a cultural issue. It has nothing to do with whether you wear wigs or relax your hair or wear artificial nails.
I'm gonna play this clip, and this is from Daily Wrap Up Crew and their interview with this young lady. Let's see if I can get it.
His money, and then
what money? The feds is taking that money when he go to jail.
well, then you know.
So what are you gonna do though?
I'm gonna continue my help. I'm not just getting help.
But you just say you help me, so you going to jail too.
Now that part that I showed, was the question was, she wants to date scammers. So when they took a poll where it was like, okay, scammers, drug dealers, or somebody who works a 9 to 5. She's going to talk about how she don't want to date somebody that's a 9 to 5. She don't have all day to be waiting on him to get paid. What's your thoughts on that? And listen, had enough to say she'll help the scammer.
Right. And as they point out, she'll be sitting right in jail with them. And that's where a lot of black women end up. So she's already on her own path.
They
Um,
told her, and she just didn't believe it. Like, really?
I feel like that the core issue is not whether like you're a scammer or a drug dealer, but it goes back to like having morals and integrity and values. They're
I
just
hate to say
lacking.
it, but she made herself sound very she just didn't sound intelligent. And I hate to say that because she's probably a very
I'm
smart,
sorry.
bright
I'm sorry.
lady.
I'm not afraid to say it. You sound
Look, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. But she was a girl. But girls say stupid things. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that was just like, girl, that whole little interview just made me cringe when I watched it. I was like, can I just reach through the screen and slap both of them little girls?
And you know what it really says to me? What kind of home environment is she coming from?
Thank you.
Where's her mama? Where is her daddy? If she got out there and went on an interview and was saying this with her whole chest, that's what she believes. And somebody, and what it could be it could be her larger family system. You know what I'm saying? This familiarity and acceptance of criminality. You know, she's a product of her environment and you can overcome that, but I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, her environment is intelligent. Nah, you're dumb as a box of bricks and you're going to have to sit in jail for a couple years before you have an enlightenment about your choices in life. I guess that's your path. Oh well.
All
Yeah.
right. Let's hear this part.
You could just pick up, go do what you want, go ahead, go to Dubai, go ahead. Now they're not a
So you just
problem.
care about what he can do for you.
Of course, you're not spending a bag on gold.
So what are you doing for them?
A lot, 50-50. Everything 50-50.
You ain't spending no money. What is your?
All right. So first of all, I'm getting him pieces.
But you go on an IG and posting a story like who got you?
Now there you go. You heard her say I'm giving them pieces when they say 50-50. She don't want a guy that works 9 to 5 because she wants to just pick up and go here, go there. So this is what our younger men are dealing with. This is what our younger men have to deal with. The girl is saying exactly what she wants. And she said it's 50-50. He said, so what are you doing for the guy? She said, giving him pieces. So he has the opportunity to go to jail, get killed, all that stuff, as long as he's buying for her, and all she's doing is giving him a piece.
But you know, frankly, it is what it is because I feel like not all young women are like this. Not all young Black women are like this.
Right.
I'm gonna have to sit real strong on that because the young Black ladies that I know are nowhere near this stupid. And okay, and you know the research I've done and the things men will do a lot for a piece. So,
well, yeah.
If it's worth it to him and it was that good for him, then hey, them choices you made. But yeah, maybe.
I think that she should say that up top. I don't know if she said it off top, but at the beginning, be like, listen, this is where I'm trying to go. What can you do for me? I'd be like, first of all, if I was a dude, I'd be like, get rid of them baby hairs, okay? Take that wig off. Take all that cosmetic stuff off and tell me, full disclosure, let me know who you are. Let me see the real you. Because real talk, if you're walking around, you got all this fake stuff on, I don't even know you. So you want to keep it 100 with me. Well, okay, keep it all the way 100. This is what you want. This is what you request. Well, I request you to strip everything off, makeup and everything, and let me see you. Since I'm a physical person, because you know, guys are physical.
They are physical.
Let me see you. Because here's the deal. Choices. The guy can actually look and be like, okay, well, do I want to deal with you? Because all that stuff that you just took off that's on the table right now, your hair, your nails, your lashes, I could put that on somebody else. Mm-hmm. Yep. So you got to come better than that.
Somebody else is actually an entrepreneur because there's so many of these young women that are that same age that are entrepreneurs now that are doing the doggone thing. These men will be focusing on that and looking at you like, what? You said what? Okay, so yeah,
like with the real entrepreneurs. You know why? Because they're not going to be available. It's like the females working a 9 to 5. And if you are an entrepreneur, you put your 100% into you because that's investing in you. So you really don't even have time for him. So like the girl talking about something, you get to go to Dubai and you get to, I can't even get off work because I'm focused on me and my career and my, you know what I mean? My generational wealth I'm trying to create. Go ahead. What you got, AmberDee?
And okay, I'm being petty, but when she said that, was it me? Was it just me, or did it sound like she probably had never actually been to Dubai?
I felt like she probably hasn't been.
Exactly.
And the thing is, and you're just saying Dubai, like you get to go to, and she actually, boom, instead of saying out of the country. So maybe she just went to Dubai only, could have.
Mm-hmm.
But do you really want to go to another country? Because I ain't gonna lie, when I was younger, I didn't want to go to another country. I don't know you like that. I might not come back. I am that person. And I have
not with
that
someone that I don't know well. Yeah,
yes.
I don't know well. Yeah.
And if you a killer, and let me say this, if you out here a scammer selling drugs and we go to Dubai, it might be a sting set up and then I'm stuck in Dubai because of whatever choices you made.
Or not even a killer, but a sex trafficker. You know, Black women are very likely to be sex trafficked, especially in the Middle East. So, yeah, a little dangerous. And then you're going with someone who's known to be nefarious. So
now they did ask the question, you know, well, what happens when he goes to jail? Are you going to pay for him in jail? You gonna move on to? She ended up saying something to the effect of she'll find the next one.
The next one, yeah.
Yeah, and and I don't blame her for that either because
the next scammer, just find the next, like,
yeah, because I mean, yeah. Mm-mm.
But I think full disclosure, you know, if she's saying this, I want a scammer. Are you okay with being? See, that's where you got to go. Are you okay with being scammed? You're dating a scammer, and then he scams you, and then you upset.
I've seen posts like that, and it's crazy. It's just like you knew he was a scammer, and you are okay with him victimizing and taking advantage of other people. But then when he did it to you, you want to put it on social media like first of all, you're stupid. Secondly, you don't have any integrity. You don't have no morals. Like you got exactly what was coming to you.
Isn't it interesting? So you want to put it out in the atmosphere, but you don't want it coming back. But you already said it. What you put out, you get back.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of these women who are attracted to like criminals, they think, oh, well, that's because I'm smarter than him, and so he's not going to be able to scam me. And then you got scammed, just like a lot of criminals think they're smarter than the judicial system, and they usually aren't. So,
isn't that something?
Yeah.
That's why they have that system in place. How about the girl who says she wants the drug dealer? Now she put her face up there. So here's what's interesting. The law enforcers are probably looking like, okay, well, this girl, it's out there for everybody to see. The one that I actually gave her time to shine. I don't even know her name, but I do want to shout out again, Daily Wrap Up Crew, because that's where I saw it on. I was outdone. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a real thing. Like, this is really for real. People, and to say it, she believes it. So it'll be like everybody she dated, we know they're a drug dealer or a scammer, because she is not dating a 9-to-5er. So she just excluded, I gotta say, 95% of the men. And the reason I say that, because guess what? Yeah, they work. And you have younger people who are hiding the fact that they work a 9-to-5 and looking the part, so giving themselves their own problems, looking the part as if they are, air quotes, listening audience, a drug dealer, and they're not. Just if they can attract the woman, because you said men will do what they want for. One of you guys said that for the punani, but you will hide the fact that you are a stand-up person and you buy your own stuff, you work, and just to be accepted by the female.
And not only that, it's not any female. I feel like there's a huge problem. There's a huge lack of character when men do that, where they sit here and impersonate, because you're also perpetuating the culture within the greater Black culture of this, romanticization of criminals. And then these same dudes that are posing and who are seeking these young ladies with this mindset want to be in their feelings after they get used, abused, and discarded. because that's what it sounded like she was going to do to her partner. So, and this is nothing new with this type of a female. But then you got these men, that's their preference, and that's who they want. And then they go through all these hoops and put in all this effort to obtain these women, and then get used, abused, and discarded. And now all women are bad. All Black women are like this. Blah, blah, blah. Like, no, sir, you got exactly what she was looking for.
Or get robbed because the people that she dealing with and who she around, they thinking he doing it, and then they check your pockets or look in your car and see it's a pay stub. Be like, oh, this cat ain't got nothing.
Right.
Come on. And possibly heal behind it.
Exactly. And then thinking somebody's going to feel sorry. I don't feel sorry for you at all. Because again, you're not assessing a woman based on her character, based on her morals, based on her integrity. You're looking at the outside. What's outside is looking good to you. So now, then that's a problem. And then on top of that, you're presenting a false image to the world, to this woman. You're deceiving the woman. You're deceiving yourself. You're deceiving everybody around you, impersonating a gangster or a drug dealer. And then you want to cry about the negative consequences that are inevitable.
Okay. Yeah, I feel you on that part. 110%. But let's go back to, I don't think there's nothing wrong with looking at somebody and being attracted to what you're attracted to. Because let me say, because if you are out, and I hate to just use the club because I'm not really a clubber like that, but let's be realistic. Even if you meet somebody at the grocery store, you might have somebody that might be looking in your cart to see what it is that you're purchasing. But 9 times out of 10, if you look across the room, a guy is not looking at you across the room saying she has a nice personality.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but the thing is, my issue is that if that's the type of woman you want and you're attracted to that, and that's your preference and that's who you're going to go after, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But understand that things come along with being with that type of woman. You don't get to turn around and be a victim after you pursued what you wanted and what you chose to prioritize. It's the same way Black women are criticized for going after thugs, bad boys, and ex-convicts. If that's what you want, go ahead and go after that. Go ahead and entertain that. But when you get the very well-known consequences of dealing with that kind of man, don't go crying about it.
Yeah, like trying to figure out how to pay your bills. Here, go ahead and read this comment. I didn't get it up there. There you go.
Okay, so Dana Penson said, such a beautiful cart of food, if I may say.
Well, I can't be I see somebody at the grocery store.
Oh goodness. Yeah, like if you want a certain type of person, that's fine. But just know that certain things tend to come with certain types of people. Okay. Just stop being a victim. That's all I'm saying.
Just stop. Okay, stop. What you got, Nyk? Go with it. Real talk. Keep it 100, Nyk, for the people. They look forward. Listen, the people look forward to hearing from you. I laugh so hard. I be looking at my little comments in there and all my emails, and they like, oh yeah, Nyk, keep it real. Tell us what's happening. Go ahead.
Oh, Lord, it's just
so, we got it. We're about to be off air.
It's just so much. Like this whole topic just got me itching. Like with that conversation, it's just why people. I mean, I understand you like what you like, but come on, have some kind of integrity and morals with it. Like, ooh, why? Just why? Just why?
Now watch this. Remember, I told you I took the poll at the cigar bar. Watch this. The men who, when I asked, was sex most important in a relationship? So the younger, 30 and under, guess what they said?
They probably said, yeah.
They said, not really.
What?
Listen, and this is the term they gave me. They was like, oh, I don't want a chick that got a whole bunch of bodies.
Well, yeah.
And I said, interesting. It was like, no, she can do this for me. Now watch, she could do this, meaning, she be headstrong, but he is not giving himself up. He's like, I don't want that many bodies on me. No, because
because what?
the disease factor. They're like, no,
Oh.
I'm not trying to have children. So I noticed that, matter of fact, out of 7 of them I spoke to, none of them had children. And I think it was 2 of them that said that the girls was asking them if they were gay because they would not use protection.
Okay.
Children. When they found out they didn't have children, it's like, are you gay or something, or bi?
I have questions.
Why that negative? Why that negative feedback or response if a guy says he doesn't have children when all you hear over and over is men out here not taking care of their children? If they are focused on them, and this is from 30 and under, if they're focused on them and they got enough sense to say, I'm not getting ready to just spread myself all around, why then are we mad? What do we really want?
Yeah, I ain't mad at him. I rather, you know, if you ain't got no kids, but now at this age, as long as all your kids is grown and grandchild is grown too, I'm happy with that.
Not the grandchild.
Huh?
Not the grandchild grown up. Nyk dated, what, 60 and over for Nyk?
Look, up to 60. I wasn't playing from 50 to 60.
Wait, let's read this comment. Go ahead, AmberDee, read that comment.
Salvage said, yeah, they enjoy a woman who ain't been with the world.
Now watch this. Guess who didn't care about the female being with the world? We're going to use her.
The
older guy.
Mm-hmm.
The older guy. The age, the 30 to 50 age, they were like, yeah, it depends on the type of guy. Now, I'm looking at the maturity level. So it depends on the type of guys that she's been with, 30 to 50. I said, no, that's good. That's interesting because it's like, okay, well, how do you have that conversation? It was like just in basic conversation. Usually women will talk and we gain our information from what they say. He was like, some women just talk. He was like, yeah, I listen. I hear what they say. And if I'm listening to the type of guy, so if she's used to drug dealers, and even if I was a drug dealer back in the day, I'm not trying to do that now. I already know it's a no-go. You can never be my woman. Full disclosure. But here's the thing. Was it disclosed to her?
Exactly.
And they all said no.
Exactly.
Baby, y'all got to come with it. Come with it. Let that person decide whether they want to continue to, you know, especially if this person is telling you everything, but you want to hold, you can't hold nothing back, especially if you getting all the information from the other person, you can't hold nothing back. You got to go with it. But my thing is, them young men that said they don't want to catch all them bodies, but they need that it's okay for that chick to be a certified head doctor. Guess what? She still caught a lot of bodies being a certified head doctor, dummy.
And you still can transmit STIs. What?
That's the new generation. For my throwback people like me, that's STDs. Go ahead. Go ahead, AmberDee. You want to read that comment, please?
Okay, so Salvage said, makes sense because them older dudes sometimes done ran through them. Exactly. And I feel like that's the other thing. I mean, some things are just, you know, there's disparities, but I feel like in other instances in dating, the blatant hypocrisy is just disgusting to me. Like, if you're a dude and you have a high body count, how dare you care if a woman has a high body count? Like, you're a whore yourself.
Well, wouldn't that be the same thing as what these young men were saying? How can you, as an average person, feel as though that an average dude is beneath you?
I mean, I personally am not like that. I want someone on my level at minimum. My minimum is equal, but I'll go up from there.
Thank you.
You know, and so as far as these women that will only date a man that's like way above, well, she's aiming high. She's aiming for the stars. I don't blame her. Is she likely to be successful? Personally, I don't think she's likely to be successful, but that's going to be her outcome. She's going to have to deal with her lack of success.
What about the female? What about the female who feels like all she has to do is, she can work, but all she has to do is sex her man? Like, I got my husband and I'm not cooking for him. I don't have to do all that. I'm just going to sex him.
I
baby.
think that that's not a good. That's a short term strategy. That's what
Thank
I
you.
think. That'll last for a little bit, but I think not even just men, but women also get tired of sex. Like where things become routine, they become mundane, they lose the spark, they lose the interest. That doesn't mean they're a bad person. That's pretty natural, right? So you have to bring more to the table than just sex, even if it's good sex. Even so, it's not like, oh well, your sex is mediocre or your sex is bad. This is my wand.
I see.
But it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like variety is important. And I think that for when you're talking about these unions that have lasted decades, 30, 40, 50 years, that's not sex.
Mm,
You have
it's
to
more than that.
there's so much more to it than that. If your priority is to have a long standing, beautiful, healthy, happy union, it's more than sex. Come on.
That's the thing. You said the keyword priorities. You have to have your priorities straight in order to get that. And if your priorities are not straight, then and the only thing you interested in is just, it's just your priorities.
Okay, let's say this female, successful, priorities are in check, great job. Matter of fact, own business. I'm setting up the picture. Own business. And you feel like, okay, I have my own business, but I'm not cooking. My husband is not getting a home cooked meal. My husband requests the home cooked meal, but he's not getting that because I'm working all day and I'm coming home and I'm putting it down. So I wanted to give you that because I don't want, the listening audience to think that it's just a certain type of female, because that sex thing and just saying I'm just putting it down is not just to a specific type, because you have business women who feel like this is it as well. Younger businesswomen, as Nyk said earlier, who got their stuff together and thinking this is just it. At that time, this is just it. Am I a man? I'm not, but I do speak to men. Most of my people are men. My best friends are men. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to give you lovely ladies out there just a heads up. Yes. All right, Dana, I got you in 1 second. I got you. If your man works out of town and always get gigs out of town, he ain't feeling you. And if you are married to him, he ain't feeling you. Y'all just stuck. Because why don't your man want to be with you when you married him? Look at it. I'm not saying nothing wrong with you, but I think you need to look at that big picture. Now let's go to this comment. AmberDee, you got it?
Sure. So Dana Penson said, as you get older, you're looking for the peace and vibe with someone. Staying to yourselves, travel, and enjoy life. Balconies and white sand, beaches. You got to cook sometimes. Big Mama always cooked. Ooh.
Yeah, you do sometimes cook. Like, busy or not, like, it's not always about the sex. You could be the best. Like I said, you could be a certified head doctor. That cat could be the greatest gold when you take your pants down, but you still have to prioritize when you are married, and you have to compromise. Okay, I'll cook this day, this day, this day. And you have to, in order to have that long-standing relationship. And if you don't want him to always be out of town doing something else, or always out with his boys until Lord knows when, and okay, because the boys is gonna cover him. You got to compromise. That has to be part of that plan.
Okay, go ahead, AmberDee. What did you want? You want to speak to Dana's comment?
Just the last sentence, but I did want to say that, yeah, like Nyk said, compromise, and that there's, if obviously sex is important, but if that's something, and this goes for the male and the female, if your partner is verbalizing, this matters to me. Like, if you care about that person, you'll try to fulfill that need. You can't, it's hard. You can attempt to fulfill needs that haven't been verbalized. But if your partner is actually taking the time to verbalize, like, hey, this really matters, and I would really like for you to do this for me, then just being a good person, you would try to fulfill that need. And then as far as his last part where he's talking about, Big Mama always used to cook, I literally just saw this little video where it's talking about how modern men are always complaining about modern women and how come modern women aren't like how they used to be back in the day. And it's like,
well, modern man. Like
exactly. Because a modern man isn't the same way the man was back in the day. And someone commented and said, do these men not realize that our grandmothers and our mothers intentionally made us not the way they guide us, encourage us not to be like them, to sidestep the things that they didn't like in themselves. Like, don't sit here and sacrifice everything for your husband and your kids. Get your own money. Don't rely on a man. Those are the lessons that our grandmothers and our mothers taught us from their negative experiences. So modern women are the offshoot, the result of the wisdom that we received from our previous generations and things to avoid their misery and their struggles and sacrifices. Big Mama did not love having to cook every single night and wash laundry and work to the bone, plus work 45 hours a week. Like, in what human
difference? What's the difference?
But
doing all that and working 45 hours a week.
Exactly. Exactly.
But Big Mama did not tell you to not do it at all.
Right.
There you go. Read that comment, Nick, or whoever.
The Salvage said, are they still doing piggyback rides? I.e., if you have on heels and cobblestones or a head. Boom, there you go.
Woo.
I like that.
Exactly.
Helping you so big.
Here's the next comment.
No way, Celeste Fegan said it ain't about you. Exactly.
But it is.
Y'all
know me. It is about me.
It gotta be about both of y'all.
Exactly. I feel like
it has to be about the both of you. And
right.
or if you want to move on and be happy and continue to be happy, it got to be about both of you. It can't be one side.
Tell me this, ladies. We're talking dating, not marriage.
Okay. All right.
Percentage. What is the percentage for each party in dating?
I will only speak for myself.
Go ahead.
In dating, it's like 70-30.
Okay. Nick? What you got?
Dating, yeah, about that 70-30.
Okay, who's 70 and who's 30?
He better be 70.
Okay. What you got, AmberDee? AmberDee, what you got?
The man is 70.
Okay. AmberDee, you want to read the comment?
So Shauna P. Stacy said, when we were engaged, my husband literally carried me to the car from a concert because my feet were hurting. Girl, go ahead.
Let's talk about, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. And next comment, go ahead, AmberDee.
So Dana Henson said, cook a meal on your modern stove. I'm just clowning.
Hi, Dana.
Listen, I ain't even mad at that. I love it. I'm not mad at that. Here we go. Go ahead. We got another one.
Okay, so Shauna P. Stacy said he gave me a piggyback. And my husband did the same thing. And we would go out, you know, and your feet start hurting. I'm like, you know, carry me because my feet hurt now. So, you know.
And that's wonderful. But can we do that with our modern guys? Is that what the younger girls are wanting?
Well, again, I'm not going to lump all young girls into those ladies that I saw because Lord have mercy. But Lord have Jesus, fix it. Take the wheel. But no, I definitely think you can still get that with modern men in modern dating. I just think that it's a bit harder to come by, but it's still one of the things where, you know, your vibe will affect your tribe. Right. And there's still plenty of, you know, traditional conservative men in the world today. So, but I'm an optimist, you know.
Go ahead, AmberDee.
Shauna P. Stacy said, I think they want it, but don't understand that they deserve it. Who's they?
Younger girls. We just talked about it. Stay with me, AmberDee. Stay with me.
I'm sorry. I know she was talking about.
Okay, here you go. Nyk the Voice, you want to read that?
Yeah, Shauna P. Stacy said, you definitely have to know how someone was raised.
Yes.
See, ooh, child. Now that is a big thing. You got to know what the family dynamic.
Now watch this. Watch this. We talked about the mama's boys. Remember that?
Mhm.
And I said this, and y'all know how Nick is. We ain't gonna go there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ring the bell early.
Don't repeat. Don't bring it up.
It's gonna be good. Like, the people get tired of hearing about the mama's boy. So
But listen, I told y'all before, and I stand true to this. Yes, you do need to know how they were raised. I agree 110%. That is so important and key. Here's what I learned. And, it's always like, the way that they treat their mom, if they, the way that they treat their mom, they'll treat you that way. And remember, we've heard that over and over. Nick and I agree on this one. The way that they treat their mom is the way they'll treat you. But if mama is still alive, you got to wait till she go to get your turn.
Preach on it. Say it again.
Go ahead, AmberDee. What you got?
Well, I just want to piggyback on that, and I feel like you have to.
That's
wait
for my mama's boys. Okay.
You have to wait your turn because they didn't have a daddy to teach them how to balance.
No, disagree. Because
I feel like because men talk about how undesirable, particularly Black women are, because so many Black women come from single parent homes. So you don't know how to be a wife, you don't know how to be agreeable, all this, that, and the other. Well, and I think there's validity to that. I think they're like the young ladies we were just discussing is a good example of that. But there's a whole lot of Black men that don't know how to function in their manhood or be good partners because that was never demonstrated to them.
But see, we can't talk about that here because it was demonstrated in my situation. But I was like, oh, y'all ain't tell me. And I talked about it. Y'all ain't tell me that the mama got to be gone on the glory before I get my turn because mom takes precedence. I know people who sat there, listen, baby, you could be in a long relationship, it's all as well, and your date get canceled because mama need to go to the grocery store because father done passed on. So that son is taking on that role that the father has had. So he's like, instead of saying, wait, well, mom, can you go after? Nope, bam, everything dropped for mama. Go ahead, AmberDee, can you read that comment? I got like 3 of them I got to share.
Okay, so Shauna P. Stacy said, I have a mama's boy. Lord have mercy. LOL. I do appreciate that he knows how to respect her, but prioritize our home over his relationship with her.
Respect. Okay, go with this one.
Next one. You should never have to compete with the woman that birthed and raised him. Emotional incest. But yes, next one. Dana Penson said, you're onto something there, ladies. Let's start a reality show called Married to My Mom. Nothing but mama's boy.
I got a candidate for y'all already. The one I'm married to.
You got a candidate, you gonna submit the paperwork.
The one I'm married to. Like, for real. He prioritized mama so much that he got me down here and he went back to Youngstown. Okay, because mama.
Jesus. I don't even know what to put.
Like, information right now, ring the alarm. He prioritized mama so much, mama was not happy that we moved, so him moved back and left me here. That's what I'm talking about.
What did you say that's called?
Emotional incest.
It's a real thing, people.
It's a real thing. It's very it's unhealthy, obviously, and very problematic.
Problem. Child, listen. That is the sore thumb.
Watch this, Nick. Just like on the whole, like the dating, when you're collecting data, and some guys say women talk a lot. Nick, you listen here. Guys say that women talk a lot and they gain all their information. They collect their data. They get data from a woman who talks a lot. It is very important to listen. So when they talk, you be like, oh, okay. And I'm an observer. That's just my personality, Virgo in the building. Real talk, I need to see. I hear what you don't say. And in my mind, because this wheels are always turning, is like, I wonder why he didn't disclose that or why this, you know what I mean? So I'm that person. I'm looking at the entire picture. Now, usually if I'm dating or, I'm on a date, dating somebody, I'm listening to what they say and what they don't say. And if you tell me about everything that your ex did to you, you ain't getting opportunity with me because I know that you're going to tell everybody about what I did. So guess what? No royal treatment for you. Then you also listen to their dating issues. So guess what? I know on your next date or whoever you talk to, that I know that we can't go further because you're going to talk about our relationship to the next person. So depending on if you are a private or public person is on you. But do know that Nyk is going to tell everybody. So you better treat her right. Because
I don't care.
let you know.
You either go deal with me or you not. And if you're not, cool. But yeah, listen. Oh, Jesus. And the thing is, like you said, you listen, like, and here's the thing.
No, stay focused now, Nyk. You don't went to 1, 2, 3. I'm like, okay, what?
No, we still on this. Like,
Okay.
listening to everything, like, as far as the dating part of it, I should have known when we were dating and I was getting all the attention, and Mama, she jokingly said, "Oh yeah, ever since y'all been dating, I don't get lunch dates and I don't get this and I
that
don't
ain't no joke. That was real,
right? That was a.
She jokingly said it. Yeah, all the attention that I used to get, I don't get no more since you've been around, girl. I should have ran then.
Well, that was that red flag you missed. But I wanted to say,
it slapped me.
Amber said the show about to be over.
I would, okay, as far as your survey you did, and especially with the older men who said, they collect their data via listening, and that's why I get irritated when men ask what you bring to the table, because if you were listening and you were observant, you would figure out what the woman is bringing to the table. So when a man asks me that, I'm like, okay, either A, you're lazy, you don't want to listen, you don't want to investigate, you're not invested, or you don't have nothing to bring to the table yourself, and that's why you're asking me what I bring to the table before you even disclose what you're bringing to the table.
Isn't that something?
There is no reason for a man to ask what a woman brings to the table if he's collecting data through listening. You will figure out what she brings to the table.
Let's piggyback, since that's the word for the day. Like Sesame Street, the word for the day is piggyback. Okay, let's piggyback on that. How can you, or why are you pursuing me and asking me what I'm bringing to the table?
Because they need a purse.
You better speak. You better speak. AmberDee, read their comment. I got it.
So, Shauna P. Stacy said, I hate to say it, but many of these mothers have ruined their sons. I don't feel like that's a fair statement. I mean, some of them have for sure.
What you say?
Have. Because guess what? My brother is a mama's boy, but he know how to treat his, and always did, because my mother instilled that in him.
But watch this. And I hear you on that, but watch this. It takes a certain individual to receive that. I'm sure he wasn't giving that energy to every other girl he dated prior to his wife.
Amen. I bet you're right.
So
no, he was a hoe.
No. Okay, so you said he was a hoe, but watch this, which validates my point. He didn't marry none of them.
Nope.
So it depends on who the recipient is.
Who the recipient is.
And it matters. Go ahead, Dana Pinson.
So he said she only bringing 30% during the dating, though. I was listening.
That's what he said. Oh, he said he was listening, right?
We can't say he wasn't listening. He was fully focused.
Right. Yeah. So because I feel like men set the tone for the relationship. So
they do, and that's what's wild. That is what's wild, especially in modern dating. Men are setting the tone in a relationship, where in traditional dating, the woman was setting the tone.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Go ahead and bring that 70%, babe, because if this is a long-standing relationship, you won't regret it. I'll bring my other half then.
Okay.
Let me stop. Okay, I'm good.
You need to speak the truth. Don't stop, Nyk. Don't stop. Get it. I got a whole bunch of songs in my head. You can't play my music. Y'all know I like my music. That's my thing.
We want to know that we're making the right choice and putting you in that king category. The king and the queen, because I'm the queen. but I need to know about what this man, if this man deserves to be called the king and be treated like one.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I'm not. Don't let fellas don't jump them because the same thing with the men. They want to know that you ought to know that you a king, but you want to make sure that this woman deserves to be called and treated like a queen. I got
And
y'all.
ladies, I've said this many times. You can't put a crown on a clown.
Nope.
Crown on a clown and call him a king.
Nope.
Yeah, and so stop with that. That is one thing that bothers me. Hey, kings. King.
How you know? Right. How you know he a king?
Right.
I know.
That drives me bananas. And I understand. I'm big on positive affirmations. Listen, your baby is not a king. He's a prince. If that's what you want to do, he's a prince. Ladies, your baby girl is not a queen. She's a princess, which means you still have, there's things that you need to teach her to become a queen. Go ahead, AmberDee. Say what you got to say.
I'm saying, because why do we not treat our little black girls like princesses?
We need to.
We need to. Okay, she's not a queen. She ain't grown as a child. But little black girls need to be treated and cherished as princesses that they are. They're princesses. They're not grown women.
There you go. And you're having them doing grown women things.
Hello?
I mean, for real. And I'm not talking just sex. I'm not talking sex. I'm just saying you're having your little child doing grown women things. There was a time where you had to wait. How old are you? I'm 13. Oh, good. Can I wear lipstick? Nope. I never forget coming home in the school pictures. I don't know. I was a little slow, I guess, slightly delayed. But I'm taking the school picture. My homegirl, Crystal, was like, girl, put this lipstick on. We was at the mall. Went to get some Wet and Wild out of Spencer's. Okay, I'm dating myself. Put it on there, bright red lipstick and the school picture. Mel, why? You know the school picture. You got to take it back. Your mama paid for it. I thought I was cute, too. Red, Wet, and Wild. Matter of fact, I don't even know where that picture is. I got to go search in her photo album. She's like, where you get this lipstick from? Oh, oops. Oops. Forgot about that. Just like I did, look, with the F. Turn my F into a B, right?
Right.
Got an F, change it to a B. Listening to my friends. Well, it worked. But then I forgot when I got an A the next semester. Y'all hear that? That's a 12 o'clock siren show. Supposed to be over, but wait. Got a A on the next semester, so my F turned into an A. I forgot to change it to a B. Remember, you know how to report card to keep going? It was boom. And guess what she said? She came back. She was like, Mel, how did you go from an A from an F to an A? I said, huh? She's like, yeah, you got an F there. She's like, what were you doing? And my Uncle Booge was like, sleep. I couldn't believe, because guess what? Not me. I'll never get an F. Not me. Guess what? Me. So stay woke, people. Look, for my woke people, they probably like that one. Definitely like that one. Go ahead and read this comment, AmberDee.
Shauna P. Stacy said, she's the princess and I'm the queen. There can only be one queen in the castle. Amen.
I know that's right.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna go with this here. The difference between love and attraction, real quick, because we didn't got a little behind. The difference between love. I'm doing love first. Craving for holding, hugs, and kisses. Slow process, not chosen, happens naturally. Long-lasting communication, consistent efforts. I love you grows based on inner beauty. Okay. Real friendship, no high expectations, doesn't change the time and situations. That's love. I found it on the internet. I don't know who actually wrote this, but if y'all wrote it, your credits to you. Attraction, craving sex at first sight, chosen, like I was saying, choices, there we go. Temporary, more sexting, that's, sex, text sexting. On and off, I want you, not I love you, I want you. Fades, remember love was grows, attraction was fades. Love was based on inner beauty, attraction is based on outer beauty. Love is based on real friendship, attraction is based on fake friendship. Love is based on no high expectations. Attraction is based on greed. And this last one, Love doesn't change with time and situations. Attraction changes with time and situations. I wanted to give that because I found that to be true for me. How about you? Do you find that to be accurate?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why AmberDee act like we're not on the talk show and she just nodding her head.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you,
Yes, I agree.
okay, so we agree. I want to put this out here for my lovely people. First of all, rest in peace and keep your prayers up for my favorite comedian, Ricky Smiley. Prayers for his son passing away, Brandon Smiley, who was actually coming into his own, being a stand-up comedian. And you can see video footage of him. No, we don't know how he passed, but we do know that he did pass. And I wanted to give a shout out to Ricky Smiley because we didn't have to like hear it from somebody else. He came on social media and he actually said it to confirm it. So he confirmed it. I appreciate that. Praying for your family, his family, everybody connected to Brandon Smiley. I've seen him on a few, the shows that I do watch because, like I said, Ricky Smiley is my favorite. And there's people out there saying, why is it that Ricky keep coming to social media? Grieving is different for everyone. And I can appreciate his positive grieving. And he does say that he appreciate the people who tune in. So guess what? We appreciate you guys. We appreciate every last one of you who tune in. Come on, we express our feelings, our views to you, and we want to hear yours back. So guess what? Social media is not all bad. Some of it is good. I want to give you today's footnote, lovely people. Today's footnote comes from AmberDee's comment today. And it is, your vibe will attract your tribe. So hear us clear on Shop Talk with Mel. You don't have to be anyone other than yourself. My slogan, it's okay to be you. I understand that we as humans, we want to be accepted. But again, your vibe will attract your tribe. Maybe those people that you are around are not your tribe and you don't need to be around them. Let it go. You want to be around people who will uplift you, make you feel better. That's the key. We all want peace. We all want smiles. We all want laughter. We want to feel good and not be stressed. So take control of you. Don't be afraid of what somebody else might do, what somebody else might say. If you are not harming anyone and it makes you feel good, go for it. That's me. Keep your head to the sky, baby. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people, you know what it is. Shop Talk every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Peace.